I'm Matt Harmon of Reception Perception, and here are 5 wide receivers that are moving up my Dynasty rankings over at receptionperception.com, starting with Nico Collins. And man, it made my heart flutter to move Nico Collins up very high in my Dynasty rankings. And here's the deal with Nico Collins. Yeah, he was really good this past year, but he is not a product of CJ Stroud. Reception Perception subscribers know this, by the way. This is a guy who's been trending up pretty strong in his first 2 seasons in the NFL before his big breakout 3rd season with the Houston Texans. In 2022, he cleared 70% success rate versus man coverage and 74.5% success rate versus press. Those were indicators that he had the potential to be a true, I'll say the word, alpha X receiver in the NFL, and he obviously hit that ceiling last year. CJ Stroud's a dynamic quarterback. He's not going anywhere. Bobby Slowick is staying. Nico Collins, man, believe what your eyes and what the Reception Perception data is telling you. This guy is a stud, and he's going to be a stud for years to come. Tank Dell will be good too, by the way. Don't get in the comments about, what about Tank Dell? You are allowed to like 2 receivers from one team. Moving on, my number 2 player here, DJ Moore of the Chicago Bears. Look, man, I'll admit that coming into the season, I thought, has DJ Moore topped out as being a very, very good number 1 receiver, but maybe not like a true special number 1 receiver? I think he and Justin Fields proved that he had yet another leap to make. And this is a guy who's always been really young. He entered the league really young. As you see, his Reception Perception data showed that he was a guy who kind of struggled a little bit as a route runner to start his career, but made huge jumps, continued to progress throughout his latter years in Carolina. I would argue, again, he took yet another leap in Chicago last year. Whether Fields stays, whether Caleb Williams comes in, I think it's all looking good for DJ Moore in terms of who he's paired with as a quarterback. Wheels up for DJ Moore going forward with the Chicago Bears. Number 3, Rashee Rice. If you're a Reception Perception subscriber, you know that Rashee Rice's college profile was not very good on receptionperception.com. However, I also noted this many times throughout the process. Those games that I sampled, he was dealing with an injury. And most importantly, why I'm excited about Rashee Rice based on what he showed in Reception Perception as a rookie, the Chiefs lined him up in a very different position than what he was doing in college. He was a slot receiver. He was off the ball. He was running a lot of crossing routes, whereas in his college sample, he was running like go routes and comeback routes and curl routes, stuff like that. So the Chiefs found a way to use him correctly, which I think is really exciting for Rashee Rice. I'm not sure where his ceiling is just yet, but is he on that Amon-Ra St. Brown non-traditional number 1 receiver type of path? I am at least keeping my mind open to that being the reality with the Chiefs receiver. Number 4, Dontayvion Wicks of the Green Bay Packers. And ooh, baby, like, I love this guy, man. He's got the skills that I look for in a starting perimeter receiver. In his rookie report, at receptionperception.com, 71% success rate versus press coverage, primarily an outside receiver, was really good on in-breaking routes like the slant. He also showed that he could win downfield corner routes, out routes. This is a player that shows an excellent skill set for what you want in a starting outside receiver. I love Jayden Reed. Jayden Reed's a guy I've got ranked really high in my Dynasty rankings, was big on Jayden Reed as a prospect, but Dontayvion Wicks took me by surprise. I'm really keeping my mind kind of open to how this Green Bay Packers receiver core sorts out. But I think right now, like if push came to shove, you really like tied my arm behind my back and made me answer, I think Dontayvion Wicks is their second most talented receiver after Jayden Reed. Christian Watson, very good, big play threat, but I think in terms of complete receiver upside, I see more from Wicks than I do from Watson. And my last guy, number 5 here, Khalil Shakir, man, another guy that I really liked as a prospect. You go back to the prospect data on receptionperception.com for Khalil Shakir, 70.3% success rate versus man coverage, 82.2% success rate versus zone coverage, and it was a small sample, just 8.5 of his sampled routes, 8.5% of his sampled routes against press coverage, but man, that 85.7% success rate is tantalizing. I think this is a player who is ultra reliable for the Buffalo Bills. You've seen that so far in the NFL. You've seen him take that jump in terms of being a reliable player for Josh Allen in the second half of the season. I think we're only going to see more and more of Khalil Shakir. I don't know that he has the ceiling to be a special dynasty asset or anything like that, but he's a guy that could kick around that Bills roster, hold down the starting slot job, and I want to see more plays from him after the catch. That was where he really shined at Boise State, was after the catch. So there's more that Khalil Shakir can offer the Buffalo Bills, and personally, I'm really excited to see it because I really liked this guy as a prospect. All right, those are 5 guys that are moving up my dynasty rankings over at receptionperception.com. Listen, you know Reception Perception is the source for wide receiver information. I promise you, nobody out there is spending more time studying wide receivers than I am, and I'm not saying that's a good thing for me. I should probably get a life, but you out there should get a Reception Perception subscription so you can see the rest of my dynasty rankings. Those will be linked below. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment. Who's somebody rising up your dynasty rankings? Who's somebody you're really trying to trade for in the offseason? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.